Welcome, friends, to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. This is my first video for my YouTube channel, and thanks to a recommendation from one of my coworkers that people could always use to learn mechanics. This is a modded gameplay. This is a modded play, so if you don't like mods, this may not be the channel for you. Big mod that I have installed is the Quality of Life mod, which gives me these extra cars. Here we have a Ford GT. Here we have a Nissan Skyline GTR R35. Here we have the iconic 1958 Plymouth Fury from the movie Christine. Here we have an Evo 10 from Mitsubishi. And we have another Mitsubishi in the Eclipse GSX. These 6 cars as well as this 1994 Toyota Supra are all part of the Quality of Life mod, which allows me to put extra vehicles around my shop. But today, we will be working on a 2020 Nissan Skyline GT, or 2020 Toyota Supra GR, which you can see I have right here. The good thing with this Quality of Life mod is that it allows me to do extra things that the base game would not allow me to do. For example, with this brake lathe, normally in the original game you can only turn rotors. The Quality of Life mod allows me to turn drums as well, which is something that can be done in real life. And here we have a Lamborghini Huracan. So let's get started and move this to the car wash. Now we'll move it back. And we'll bring our welder over. So let's get started by stripping down the body of this car and seeing what can be repaired and what cannot. Obviously, we will need to buy doors for the car, as it is missing. Okay. Now, let's get it up in the air and see if there's any oil in the engine. And we do this with the oil drip. Nope, there is no oil in the car. So, let's see what can be repaired body-wise. Basically everything we took off. Okay. Now, with that being done, I am actually going to hop into the community body shop and see if I can find lights for this car that are illuminated. We come here. Alright. Unfortunately, no, there are no illuminated lights for the 2020 Supra GR. Knowing that it has no doors, we know we're going to need the side mirror. And I believe I shall use the tinted normal tail lights. Now, with this game, if you have not played, glass can never be repaired. So while I am here, I will grab all of the glass. Let's see, which one do we have? We have the standard model Toyota Supra GR. With the black interior. So once more, we are going to come here, buy a front bumper that is missing, the black interior front left door. We're going to go ahead and buy the front left fender, as we know that is missing, as well as the front right door. And we're going to buy a regular hood. And we will get car part 1 as well, the spoiler. And we will buy trunk lid. Now we go to assemble mode. And begin putting all the pieces back on the Supra. Oh, and look at that. There are other parts that need to be purchased. So car part 2 and car part 4. So we will buy car part 2. We will buy car part 3. We will buy car part 4. And we will buy car part 5. So that we can go ahead and add those as we reassemble. And as I am in New York State, the Supra will get a New York tag. And we will go with the current tag for New York and put that on there. But I am noticing we did need to purchase car part 3 as it is in 1% condition and cannot be repaired. Okay, so I am not going to put the engine cover in just yet because the engine needs to come out and be repaired. But what I am going to do is I am going to take care of the interior. By doing so, I come to disassemble, highlight the steering wheel and take that out, as well as the seat. Go back to normal mode. Now, here is the catch. Interiors cannot be repaired. There are other items within this game that it will not allow you to repair, such as brake pads, rubber bushings, sway bars, sway bar end links, and tie rods, oil filter, air filter. As we go through, I will let you know what pieces can and cannot be repaired. So now we go back to the shop. We go to interiors, and the front seats were the GW 500. So we're going to come here to front seats. And we will find the seat for the GW 500. Though you can put any of these seats in, I am sticking with what the car had in it. And it had steering wheel 16, so we will grab that. Then we will come back here, go to interior, and go to install. With that done, go back to normal mode. And I shall show you I bought the car for 21,249 credits out of junkyard. Just by placing the new body panels and interior, I have brought the value of the car up to 72,832 for a profit of 51,500. Now we shall come in here, and the first thing I can tell you is missing is all the coolant bottles. Your engine coolant, your brake booster, your power steering. But we shall start with disassembly, and your air filter box is missing 4 clip A's, so we will have to purchase those. Now we will swing back here to this fuse box, and the first thing I like to do in this game, when you see a fuse box without a cover, is I like to go to assembly mode, and with the assembly mode on, I can add all the fuses and relays that I will need for the fuse box to my shopping list, as fuses and relays cannot be repaired and will have to be purchased new. With that done, I will come to disassemble. And I will remove these parts so that I can remove the base of the fuse box. And now that I am closer to the rear end, I can see there is no battery in the rear either, so a battery will need to be purchased, along with an ABS pump and an ABS module. Now, the reason I selected the Supra to start this with is because of the fact that it has an independent rear suspension, which is what you see here. It also has a unique front suspension setup for the game, and this is your front shock absorber A. This entire setup comes out as one piece, and none of these three pieces can be repaired, so they all have to be purchased new. With that being said, let's get this up in the air and get it disassembled. Now, I am playing with a controller and not a keyboard and mouse, so unfortunately I cannot take these lug nuts out crisscross like they're supposed to be. It only does it one way. Now we shall start. I hit Y to lube up the rusted lug nut. Wheel hub cap cannot be repaired. Wheel hub bearing cannot be repaired. Brake caliper cylinder will need to be purchased, so we will add that to the shopping list. And while we are in here, I will just get rid of these body pieces, and the engine cover will need to be purchased, so I will add that to the shopping list as well. Brake rotors. I will not be lathing them, as I will be putting better brake rotors on the vehicle. This is your outer tie rod. Again, a part that cannot be repaired. Your inner tie rod cannot be repaired. Lower suspension arm, they can be repaired. Sway bar front end link A cannot be repaired, so we will add that to the shopping list. Take the front shock absorber off, the front steering knuckle, which cannot be repaired. So I will come into my inventory and I will add that to the inventory. I will highlight the front sway bar and I will add that to the shopping list, as it cannot be repaired. And your rubber bushings, once again, they cannot be repaired. Also, with this car being purchased out of a junkyard, I will have to buy a radiator for it, as well as, most likely, the radiator shroud that requires 2 fans. At this point, that is a guess, and we will find out when it comes time for reassembly of the vehicle. That lower suspension arm cannot be repaired, nor that front cross member, so I will add the lower suspension arm to my shopping list. The steering rack cannot be repaired, so we will add that. Now, in order to get the transmission out, we need to pull the drive line, which is normal in real life. And unfortunately, this motor does not have a starter with it, so the gearbox is able to come out without removal of a starter. This is a personal preference of mine within the game, and I prefer to remove the clutch release bearing, which cannot be repaired, the clutch pressure plate, which can be, but we will not be using the normal ones, the clutch plate, and the flywheel while I am underneath the vehicle. As I disassemble this, I would like to ask those of you who do end up watching this, wherever you may be in the world, at whatever time you may be watching this, please drop a comment on how I can make my videos more interesting, as I am new to YouTube. And any feedback would be much appreciated. Now, back here on the independent rear, this rear shock absorber cap cannot be repaired, so it will need to be added to the shopping list. The rear spring cannot be repaired. These spring caps, depending on the percentage, can be repaired in-game, and that one is able to be repaired. Your repair threshold within this game is 15%. This is your sway bar rear end link. It cannot be repaired. And your rear sway bar cannot be repaired. That spring cap is not able to be repaired, so we will come into inventory and add that to our shopping list. As we will this rear wheel hub that cannot be repaired. These rear shock absorbers also cannot be repaired, so I will add that to the shopping list as well. That rear suspension arm cannot be repaired, so we will add that to our shopping list as well. And the rear suspension cross member, rear wheel drive, cannot be repaired, so we will add that. And now I shall lower the car. And while that is lowering, I will come over here and grab our engine crane, as the game calls it, or if you were here in America, a lot of people like to call them cherry pickers. I will select the crane, and I will select pull out to pull the engine out of the car. And while we were over here, I will use the tire changer to separate the tires from the rims. Now, when purchasing tires, be careful, as the Supra is most likely going to have two different size tires. I will add the sport tire to my shopping list, as they cannot be repaired. I am also going to add its transmission to my gearbox to my shopping list, as it also can be repaired, but we are going to be putting a performance variant on it. And we shall check that second tire. And it is indeed a different size. So we shall add that one to the shopping list. And we will need to add a rim for it, because I am fairly certain that is not repairable. And it is not. So we shall add a 19-inch rim 4 to the shopping list. I will come here and I will add what is remaining of this engine to our engine stand. And then I will come to this bench and repair what is repairable. I should now skip over these two pieces as we will be putting performance parts in them. I will have to buy a brake cylinder caliper because I failed to repair that one. And with everything suspension-wise repaired that I can repair, I will now go to the shop and I will come over to Community Cars Body Shop first so that I can come in here and buy the engine cover that was not repairable. Now I am in your main shop and I will bring up my shopping list. And one thing I like about this quality of life mod is that when I buy a part, it will automatically remove that part from my shopping list. So this first row across, and these first two I cannot buy in the main shop. I need to go to the electric. So we will start with the brake caliper cylinder. And I need 2 of those. As you can see, it has been removed. I need 2 sway bar front end link A's. Need 1 steering knuckle A. Need 1 front sway bar. This car will require between 16 and 18 regular rubber bushings. It will also require 8 small rubber bushings. So I will buy 18 to make sure I have enough. With this quality of life mod, it makes the purchasing process much quicker, as I don't have to search individually for each part. Sway bar rear end link, I need 2. Rear spring, I need 2. Rear shock absorber cap, again, 2. Rear shock absorber A, 2. 1 rear suspension arm B. 1 rear suspension cross member rear wheel drive. Now the rest of this I need to go out and go to a different section. We will first start off with the rim shop, and I will buy 1 rim 4 at 19 inch. Now I will back out of that. I will come up to tires, and this is where I will not select the tire from the shopping list, as they are sport tires and I am going to be putting race tires on the car. But I will bring the shopping list up to see the size of the tires that I need. And the first one is a 275 35 19. So come over here to race tire. I will select 2, and I will bring this up to a 275 after I bring the profile up to a 19. Oh, sorry, I already forgot the numbers. 275 35. Bring the profile up to a 35 and the width up to a 275. I will purchase 2 of those. And I can delete that from my list. Next is a 225 35 19. So again, bring this up to a 19. And bring the width down to a 225 and purchase 2 of those. Now I am going to come over here to the custom gearbox shop, and I will find the i6 dual overhead cam FMW transmission. And here the transmission is. We will purchase 1 of those. And it removed it for me, even though the one I had on the list was not performance. Now I come into the electronics shop. I know I need an ABS module, an ABS pump, and a battery. So I will purchase those straight away. I also know I need a fuse box cover A. Now, this is where the game gets a little funny. The motor that is in the car is an I6, which means it's an inline 6-cylinder. I could buy a regular starter, or I could buy a starter V8, because this game will sometimes use a regular starter, but it will sometimes use a starter V8. I will hold off on purchasing a starter until I know which starter this car requires. With that being said, I will bring up the shopping list, and first thing I see is I need 3 relay type Bs. So I will come to relay type B, and I will buy 3 of those. I need 5 relay type Cs. So I will select the relay type C, and I will purchase 5 of those. I need 2 relay type A's, which are the fuse type A's, which are the red ones. I will purchase 2 of those. I need 3 of the tan. I will buy 3 of those. And I need 1 blue fuse. Now I will come over here to the tuning shop, because I already know certain items I am going to need for the motor. First thing being the air filter. This is the filter that will go in the box. I shall buy that. And now I am strictly in the motor components. Now, I could do this a lot quicker. With one of the mods that I have installed, I could simply press the F5 button and it would purchase every performance part I need. But for this first video, I would like you to see the variety of parts that are available in the performance shop. So I am slowly going through here, and I am showing what is available. And quite honestly, I don't know exactly what parts this motor is going to take until I pull it apart. I do know it's going to need a fuel filter, so I will buy one of those. It will need a fuel pump, so I will buy one of those. Now, I am fairly certain this motor is going to run with just a regular piston with con rod, which is another part that cannot be repaired in-game. So I will purchase 6 of these pistons with con rods. And I will purchase 6 performance spark plugs. Now I will come over to the brakes, and I am going to purchase 4 brake disc ventilated carbon ceramic. They are the most expensive and therefore should be the best at stopping the vehicle. And then I will come over here to the gearbox and I will buy a performance clutch plate, performance clutch pressure plate, and a performance flywheel. And now, one thing I am going to do before I start pulling that motor apart is I am going to come over here to my paint shop and I am going to chrome my rims. I do that by coming to chrome part, and unfortunately I have to scroll through here until I find my rims. And here they are. Page 18. Well, it looks like I may have to use my mouse for a little bit, if I can. And I believe this Supra would look good with a fully chromed rim. So we are going to paint that. Now I need to back out and reselect. Select the next rim. Come down, select the chrome, and paint it. And before I forget, I'm going to go back to the main shop, come over here to suspension. I'm going to buy 2 front shock absorber A's, 2 front shock absorber caps, and 2 front springs. As if you remember, I had said those pieces can never be repaired. I shall wait. But I will come back in here and I will buy 4 brake pads and a brake servo because I will need those. Now, in order to get this timing chain off, you need to remove this timing chain shoe, which is not repairable. The timing chain itself is not repairable. This cam gear is not repairable. So now we will come back here. Scroll all the way back. We will need 2 cam gears. We will need a timing chain B and a timing shoe A. So we will add those to the list. And we will go ahead and add this camshaft to the list because it is going to get a performance variant. But we can go here and we know we're going to need 2 of those. We're going to highlight this intake manifold because that will get a performance. And we are going to highlight this and this. And those will be performance variants as well. I will go back to part unmount. And I am going to check my shopping list to see if I put the engine head on there. And I did not. So this engine head will get added for a performance variant. And we shall remove this as well. And now, as I had guessed, this does have just the regular piston with conrod pistons. And if you see them lit up green, then you know you can take them out. So I will start removing these pistons. And because they are green and I have not rotated the block, I know that I need to buy bear with me, I am blanking at the moment as of the caps that I need to buy. I need to buy the rod caps. And I am going to need to purchase 5 crankshaft bearing caps, as well as a crankshaft. So I will put the crankshaft and the piston rings on my list. And I will pull the engine block off the stand. I will come over here to the engine block and repair that, as they are one of the most expensive parts in the game. Now, I will come back to the engine I will purchase 2 cam gears. I will purchase a timing chain B and a timing shoe A. And I will purchase the piston rings. All the rest of this, except for the crankshaft, will be done in the performance shop. I am going to search cap. And I am going to buy 6 rod caps. And 5 crankshaft bearing caps. I do also know that I am going to need an oil pan and an oil filter, but I do not know specifically which ones I need yet. But we shall take a look. This one could have the i4 or the i6 oil filter, but I will buy the i6 because that is the one that makes the most sense. And I see that there is indeed an oil pan indicated for the dual overhead cam FMW, so I will purchase that. I will buy 2 camshafts. I will buy the intake manifold, exhaust manifold A, exhaust manifold B, and the engine head. So now, with all that done, yes, I know I still need more parts. We shall begin to put the engine back together. And see, I messed up. I bought an i6 oil filter and it needs an i4. A simple fix. I will select the pistons from here, as the engine is on its side and there is no risk of the pistons falling out, which they could in real life if it was upside down. And I will begin the assembly here. I do need to hop back into the shop and come over here to the transmission because I need to buy a clutch release bearing. With the bottom end being tightened up, we shall begin on the top end of the car. And I can already see there are going to be camshaft caps that I'm going to have to purchase. But we will leave that until after I get the spark plugs installed and the 2 camshafts. And now I can get an accurate count of how many camshaft caps I am going to need. $16 in total is what I am going to need. I am also going to need a timing chain A. So now we shall come here and I shall buy 16 of these camshaft caps and timing chain A. It may not seem like it, but reassembly is actually quicker than the disassembly part on this game. Especially if, like me, you opt to use your shopping list and click on each part that is needed, as that will bring you directly to the part that is needed, rather than scrolling endlessly through a parts list looking for the exact part you need. Okay, engine head cover is going to be required, so we will pop back into the shop and buy the engine head cover. And now we need ignition coils. So we will come out, we will go to the engine tuning shop. And yes, as I just said, I could have used my shopping list, but I knew these would be quick enough to get to, if I just held the right button on my directional pad on my controller. Fuel rail and throttle. Need a fuel rail I6 and a throttle I6. We're also going to need a power steering pump I4 and a timing chain shoe A. Timing chain shoe you cannot get in the performance shop. There should only be one more piece I need out of the performance shop, and that will be the alternator. This is going to be your regular parts store. These three parts here are going to be your regular parts store. So I will buy them. And then this is an I6B alternator, which will be on the second page. And I will come over here and purchase that. The water pump pulley, again, not a part you can purchase in the performance shop. Belts, again, items that cannot be purchased in the performance shop. And with that, the engine is built. So we shall pull that out and pop that into the car and return that stand. Now this is your spring puller. This is what's going to assemble and disassemble your springs, your struts. And now I am assembling the rims and tires once again. And now we are balancing. In real life, this is where you would add the weights to the wheels to make sure that they are evenly balanced. No, I do not want to take apart. And now we shall put the Toyota Supra back up in the air and reassemble its suspension. Now, as you can see, I have an assemble mode. We have 1, 2, I can't get it highlighted, but it is over there, 2, and 3 radiators, as well as a small intercooler. Radiators cannot be purchased in the performance shop, which is, in my opinion, an overlook of the game, as you can get performance radiators in real life. But we shall buy 3 of those and come to the tuning shop and buy a small intercooler. And now reassembly begins. And as I talked of parts that cannot be repaired, I did not buy tie rods. So back into the shop we go. I will make it easy and come to the suspension by 2 inner tie rod and 2 outer tie rods. Need 4 wheel hub bearings and 2 wheel hub caps. Now, this is where you must be careful on certain cars, such as this Toyota Supra and the Porsche 911s within the game, because they have different size tires. This one you want to find the one that says 225/35, as those are the front wheels for this car. Oh, looks like I need a front wheel hub. Easy enough. Forgot to buy the small rubber bushings. underneath here and install the gearbox, the driveline, and the starter. Just a regular starter. Now we can set the Supra down. And with those last minute additions, the first thing I like to do on my build, after I've installed the engine and set it down, is I like to fill the engine with oil. Otherwise, I might forget to put oil in it. And as we saw with this car, it has an engine cover. So I would have to take that engine cover off just to fill it with oil. And yes, I know I still need to buy the clips for the air filter box. Huh? I stand corrected from an earlier statement in the video, and this does not require radiator fans. So let's hop in here, and I will search clip, and I will buy 4 clip A's. And just like that, I missed an idler roller. So we will buy another one. Okay. We are almost done with assembly, though I know I still have to fill fluids. I will do that once the car is fully assembled. easiest way, back out, then come back in. Now when you go to fill these fluids, make sure you have your cursor right on the cap, or you will take the entire canister out of the car rather than filling it with fluid. Let's see what is missing other than and it is not showing me the parts that I knew. Car part 6 is probably an exhaust piece. Nah. Hidden underneath the coolant reservoir. Okay. Assembly mode. Engine cover. Oh, interesting. So we need to open the trunk to access car part 6. But I think instead of a hat rack, we'll throw a black roll cage in the car. And with that, my friends, our car is at 100%, and it is time to move it to the paint shop. Where I think the car would look good in a deep blue. So we will choose that. And we shall see about liveries. blue it is. Now we will take her to the test path, where we will do a wheel alignment and a headlight alignment. And with those alignments done, we have one more stop, and that is the dyno. Car started with 445 horsepower and 403 pound-feet of torque. Let's see what we managed to do. We added 211 horsepower and 183 pound-feet of torque for a total of 656 horsepower and 585 pound-feet of torque. And there she is, fully restored 2020 Toyota Supra GR. I spent $21,250 to purchase the car, and after all restoration costs, I can make a profit of $249,962. Is that realistic? Probably not, but remember, this is a game. And we shall go ahead and sell the car, even though I don't need the money. And that will be it for this video, everyone. As mentioned earlier, please leave in the comments any suggestions to make these videos better. I will make them shorter in the future, but this was a first video and I wanted to do a full restoration on a car. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have a good day.